Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are doing, we're throwing cards. We are doing the weekly October 6th to October 12th for the sign of Gemini. Alright, Geminis, let's get right into it. You already know, if you're my regular, that this is a timestamp video, so you can go into the top of the description and jump ahead if you want to. You're going to pull out your 3 romance angel messages for the week along with your 3 animal spirits, and then we're going to get right into your forecast. We have retreat, religious factors, and wedding. All right. Interesting. So, those are your 3 your 3 romance angel messages for the week. Now, we won't really know what that all means until we get into your spread and your spirit animals. So let's do that now, Gemini. And then, of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I do upload a blog now on Facebook to discuss some of the messages or animal spirits that may be prevalent each week and why they are prevalent for the collective. So you can go ahead and check that out. And of course, thank you to all of you who have given donations or booked a private reading. This is what I do for a living, and so I really appreciate all of your support, especially the private readings, which is really my bread and butter. So thank you for that, and for allowing me the privilege, really, to be able to read for you. All right, so let's get right into it. Upside down, we have the vulture. Beautiful air energy. Very misunderstood, maligned creature, but we're going to get into that. And the elephant is back again. All right, so this is the 3rd reading I've done so far for the weeklies, and the elephant is back. Last week, if you're looking at your weekly forecast, a lot of you will see the collective that the elephant was indeed prevalent. And then we have the beautiful otter. Beautiful, beautiful water energy. So let's get right into reviewing these animal spirits before we go ahead into your weekly spreads. Now, the vulture. What is the vulture? The vulture is all about clearing away dead things, dead leftovers. The vulture, it's necessary for our ecosystem. It's necessary for that death rebirth, right? Because after a death, there's things that need to be cleared in order for a proper rebirth to happen, or else we end up having pestilence, we end up having disease, we end up having the new, oh, okay, did you see that? That was my cat. Okay, so she flips out during the readings, just excuse her. All right, so the vulture is, let's get back into it. It's a creature that is misunderstood. It is necessary for the whole cycle of life and death and rebirth to have a vulture energy, a vulture character, someone who can or the ability to clear out the old, consume the old in a way, as the vulture does, integrate it and make way for the new to come in clean and pure. All right. Now the elephant. The elephant talks about insurmountable momentum and power and drive. The elephant is the great destroyer of obstacles, associated with the Hindu god Ganesh. And for those of you who are following me on Facebook, I'm at Bow Arrow Tarot on Facebook. I have a little update, a post that I've put up about the elephant and why it's been so prevalent lately, and I'm not surprised that he's showing up again this week. Elephant energy is very, very strong. It is really unstoppable, and it's the type of energy that comes into our lives to ensure that we are following the right path and to ensure that the obstacles in our way are cleared. Ganesh is, of course, associated with good fortune and wisdom. So clearing obstacles and making way for abundance and spiritual enlightenment and wisdom to come in. Now the otter is water energy and is really a beautiful, beautiful animal spirit. This is the card that is associated with bliss. right? Bliss in love, bliss in emotions. It's a water and elemental spirit animal. So we're talking about the otter is the one who, when they're with their partner, they are with them completely and without abandon. They don't hold on to fears, insecurities, anxieties. They don't worry about a partner who may be cheating on them or feel, they absolutely enjoy every minute with their partner, free of these hang-ups. And so their time together is extremely blissful. Deep connections happen. Otter is also the card for affection. So physical affection. Lots of cuddles, lots of kisses, very, very nice energy. Everyone loves to be around otter personality individuals because their joy in life as well is very, very contagious. All right, guys, so let's get right into your 3-card spreads for the week. Now, these are going to be anywhere from 5 to 8 forecasts for the week. Just to let you know what you may or may not be resonating with. And of course, like I said, this timestamp, you can go into the description and jump ahead or jump back to any of the forecasts that interested you the most. And let's get right into it. My lovely Gemini. 4 Major Arcana Emperor, 3 of Swords, and Hanged Man. Wow. Interesting. Very, very interesting, huh? So what I'm going to say here, Emperor energy is about stability in life. The Emperor, the first 4, is the leader amongst men, right? This is the authority figure. This is the stable individual who makes everyone else's life stable as long as you follow their lead. This is, of course, associated with Aries energy. And so for some of you, I'm going to say that this week is a week where you are taking back control of your life, taking back the authority of a particular situation. And what ends up happening is that 3 of Swords comes in, meaning that I'm going to say for some of you Geminis, it may be that up until now you've been kind of like sort of allowing a particular relationship in your life to sort of dictate your life. You've decided to take control, and what comes out of that is that you realize that in fact this relationship was not what you thought it was. The people you were dealing with were not as honest as you thought they were. Someone has been lying or has been duplicitous. Remember, 3 of Swords is a heartbreak card, but it's a swords card. And so the heartbreak is because the communication has not been good, or the communication has been false. There's been lying, there's been cheating involved. And so this is mostly a lot of times not only a heartbreak, but it's more like an insult, right? It's the insult of the way you've been treated that really hurts you here. And so you realize this as a result of taking control and authority, perhaps in a certain situation. I want to say that it may be that some of you were in a relationship that up until now you've maybe played the more submissive role, and so you've been a victim of this, and now that you're being more sort of dominant, you're realizing the situation for what it is, and you also realize that perhaps you've been stuck in it for quite too long. Hanged Man energy comes in the sense that you're waking up to the fact that you have really, it's time to move on, it's time to get rid of something to do with this relationship or an aspect of this relationship, or maybe the relationship itself, so that you can finally move on. Certainly vulture energy and elephant energy is at play here. And I'm going to say, Gemini, this is a real awakening for you in a lot of ways this week. Certainly, I think for some of you, you will be retreating from this dynamic. King of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, and 5 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so for some of you, I'm going to say that you have an individual. King of Pentacles is somebody who's very strong and industrious. They have already established a certain amount of status. Very Taurus energy, I'm going to say. This person has come in almost like a mentor to you or a confidant in some way or another, right? They have a lot of respect and affection for you. And they've come in this weekend, I think, to open your eyes to a particular situation that it hasn't been very healthy. And as a result of that, you begin to reevaluate. You begin to look back with this 9 of Wands on some of the issues of this most recent stage of your life, and you begin to realize what this person is telling you. They've almost opened your eyes to some of the burdens that you've been carrying unnecessarily. And on the heels of that, you have a power struggle this week. After talking with this King of Pentacles and really reevaluating your life up until now, you realize that where you're at whatever environment that you're at right now is not conducive for you. And in fact, perhaps there's an argument that happens or a power struggle and you're almost forced out, right? Five of Pentacles talks about a power struggle that you lose and that forces you to kind of pay the price financially, pick up the pieces financially. But remember, vulture and elephant energy is at play here. And I'm going to say that if this is resonating with you, Gemini, then most certainly this change was something that needed to happen. It could very well be that the environment you've been in up until now, that is now towards the end of this week, will probably, for some of you, collapse in this argument in a way, was an obstacle that the elephant spirit animal is destroying, right? It may not have seemed like an obstacle in your eyes at the time, but this will come out later on that all of this that's happening here was necessary for you to really push forward to something positive. I'm going to say this is especially to do with your career. Queen of Cups, Five of Wands, and Magician energy. So some of you are certainly... Queen of Cups talks about, being very nurturing, open with your emotions and your feelings, right? But what happens is, now you may be resonating with Queen of Cups, or you may be dealing with someone who's resonating with Queen of Cups in a sense that you're being very open with your feelings with someone. Could be outer energy, but what comes in is a power struggle. Somebody may be out there trying to get your lover or get a piece of what you have. It's almost as if they see you here, being so emotionally mature, maybe even resonating with this blissful outer energy, and somebody wants what you have. They want to compete with you for this. It could be an ex-lover of your lovers. It could be an ex of yours, or your lover's ex is what I mean to say, right? But whatever the case may be, there's someone or someones who see this connection here and see this openness that's coming, this happiness that's coming, maybe even possibilities of a wedding, and they come in this week to really kind of usurp your authority, right, to fight you for it. But what happens is the magician, you resonate with magician energy in the sense that you very, very easily are able to handle this scenario. You're very easily able to handle this power struggle without losing any of this beautiful Queen of Cups energy. You remain open about your feelings and wearing your heart on your sleeve. And it doesn't really matter to you that somebody wants to sort of come in and compete with you, because you have all the skills within you to be able to maintain your dominance in this scenario. Nine of Cups, Queen of Swords, and Seven of Swords. So some of you have had a wish fulfillment most recently, probably in the form of a relationship, perhaps the type of relationship you've always wanted coming in. You see that there could be a chance for you to finally get to that Ten of Cups, which is all about moving forward with a deeper connection. Nine of Cups is indeed the wish fulfillment card, but oftentimes we're talking about temporary wishes or dreams coming true that don't really lead us to a deeper level. Their accomplishments, right? He's very proud of them, but he's still sitting alone. And so this last wish fulfillment, which is truly what you desire, a connection, is coming in for you, but it requires you to be very honest, Queen of Swords, about who you are. And you are requiring that somebody else is also extremely honest with you about who they are, right? In order for this to be a true Nine of Cups wish fulfillment that would take us to a Ten of Cups, you're just kind of on the fence a little bit about it. You just require a bit more. And so what happens to Seven of Swords comes in, and that's quite interesting because Seven of Swords is the great dream thief. So someone you're dealing with, I'm going to say, again, just like with the last spread, they're coming in and they're trying to take your thunder. In a way, they want to come in and take your dreams from you. They want what you have, but they don't want to work for it. Right? Now, this could indeed be this could be the person that you thought was your wish fulfillment, right? But you're finding out, you know, you may have started off feeling really good about this connection, but you find out as you drop your mask and you require them to drop their mask, you start to find out that this person is not necessarily what you thought they were. They are, you know, Seven of Swords. They are the great tortoise and the hare, right? So this character would be the hare, the animal that's always cutting corners, always being hasty, and nothing really seems to work out. It's very futile. Seven of Swords is the card for futility. And so for some of you, as much as you wanted this connection, it just doesn't seem to be working out because your individual or the person you're dealing with, it's just not who they say they were, right? And a lot of the things that they've accomplished through sort of like these kind of cheating, sort of nefarious means, you know, sneaking in like a thief in the night and gathering what you can, this sort of attitude, you know, this attitude of wanting to take your dreams rather than work for it. You're starting to wake up to that with someone this week, Gemini, and realize that perhaps this is not the wish fulfillment that you wanted. There's your 10 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and Lovers. There you go. So now for some of you, indeed, you may have gotten to the bottom of whatever the scenario was or the blockage was. Now you've moved on to 10 of Cups. You have your connection with your loved one. You have your commitment, but yet you're still kind of depressed and worried. You still have a lot of anxiety that this relationship is going to fall apart like the ones before, right? 5 of Cups talks about sort of really like bemoaning, you know, the past, right? 5 is the number for power struggle, but with 5 of Cups, we talk about an internal power struggle. The struggle between wanting to wallow in self-pity and sort of the depression of failed relationships, or the other side of you that's willing to sort of rise above that, try to get over that in a way, right? Realize that, yes, it was painful, but and have the strength to look forward to these new cups, right? Lovers is coming in. This is Gemini energy. This is you coming in your own reading, Gemini. And so in order for the lovers to actually connect, there has to be a harmony between them, right? There has to be a mutual respect and harmony, a mutual understanding, a mutual amount of enthusiasm for the future. And so again, in order for you to kind of have this connection, you're going to have to deal with the other side of you. Remember, Gemini represents two sides of ourselves, the twins. So you're going to have to deal with that other side of you that tends to want to draw you back in to a feeling of depression and feeling sorry for yourself, or feeling sorry, not even for yourself, but for relationships that are long gone, and that really no longer affect your life. So this is the kind of struggle that you will have this week. And it'll be up to you if you choose 10 of Cups or if you choose 5 of Cups. There's another 5. 5 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and Ace of Wands. Wow, another power struggle. So 5s have been very prevalent in readings this week. 5 of Swords, of course, talks about engaging with someone who doesn't play by the rules, okay? And so you lose to this individual, but it was inevitable. They were never really playing with a fair... this is going to be the last spread. They were never really playing fair to begin with. They weren't really playing by the same rules that you were playing. You can see in the picture that the other characters are walking away sort of in disgust. They've thrown their swords down. This is the card for defeat. You have been defeated, but have you really been defeated in a way? You know, this is also the card for hollow victory. And sometimes 5 of Swords comes in to let us know that sometimes you just have to accept the situation for what it is, right? It's not fair. It isn't always fair. It isn't always right, but you just have to accept it for what it is, because when you're dealing with people who have no dignity, they have no shame, they're willing to really resort to anything, is it really worth you lowering yourself to their level to even engage with them? And so in accepting this sort of defeat and I'm going to say it's a hollow defeat just as much as the victory is hollow. You open up the way to let go of this. Again, the next card after 5 of Swords is 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords is an intentional desire to be harmonious in our relationship. So you turn your back on this strife, and what happens? A new door of opportunity happens. A new door for a relationship happens. A lot of new chapters in your life come in. And why? Because you have finally really, and I'm not going to say finally like for some of you as if you've never done this, but I'm saying when I say finally, I mean the end of this stage, right? So now you're finally at the end of this stage where you have gotten rid of this obstacle of engaging with toxic people, engaging with people who aren't really on your level. This was an obstacle to your future. And getting rid of this obstacle, admitting defeat. Sometimes we have to admit defeat, you know, regardless of whether or not we think it was fair or not. Admitting these things is something that raises your frequency. It raises your intention to be closer to who you are. And whenever you do that, life brings new opportunities and excellent opportunities. Especially Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands is excellent starts for prosperity and for love and ambition. All right, guys, this is it. This is your reading for October 6th to the 12th for Gemini. I hope you did resonate with it. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. This is what I do for my living. So all of those things that you do help me grow my channel, and I really do appreciate it. For those of you who want a private reading, go ahead into the description or the link at the top of your screen, and it's very easy for you to book a private reading with me. Readings are face-to-face via live online video conferencing, right? Skype or something like that, whatever app you have. We conduct the reading like that, and then you get a private link to the actual recording of the spread so that you can go back and refer. All right. Thank you to all of you who have given donations. And for right now, I'm going to say, Gemini, have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.